We are back. This is Max and Kev with Behind the Bay, and today's guest is Dustan. What's up, my man?
I'm here. I'm glad to be here.
All right, this is is our first duo too. We got his lady Gabby with us. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun. All right, so we usually start at the beginning, in which you're beginning. So
So I'd like to, I'd like to cut you off for a second.
You do it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna. Thank you. So I know, Dustan, you're an artist, whether it's music or tattooing, right? You're a very artistic guy. But that stuff aside, I'd like to know more about just you, your upbringing, where you came from, the start of Dustan. Talk to me about that.
The start of Dustan came from Coquille. Dad's a hardcore rodeo guy.
Rodeo guy. What do you mean by rodeo guy?
He rode bronc in the rodeo, and my grandparents, they owned a cutting room called Cedar Point Packing in Coquille.
Cut meat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Animals.
Okay.
Cutting room. They cut a bunch of animals up and packaged them for consumption.
Gotcha.
And before that, my great grandpa, it was actually had a cutting room in what used to be the Coushead Food Co-op in North Bend.
Oh really?
Over here, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and,
Cool.
and my great grandparents owned that place, and then they handed it down to my grandfather, and then he sold it. But yeah, that's grew up in Coquille,
Okay.
How was that back in the day? So probably pretty. I'm sure you got into some shit and some mischievousness out there. With not much going on.
I never wanted to be a rodeo person.
No.
I
wasn't on
never
your
wanted
radar.
nothing to do with no packing meat or anything like that.
Oh man, yeah.
My dad's a badass. He's cool, but I never was like into that kind of stuff. And I think that
Gotcha.
I was the youngest out of four of us. My two cousins and my brother. I only have one brother, but I have two cousins I grew up with, and I was the youngest, and I was just the oddball out of the four of us.
Okay.
And I was the only one that wanted to be different than them. And always interested in art and always doing something artistic.
So did your cousins and your brother, did they decide to kind of go towards what the family was doing?
No,
they
they
split
all
off too?
they all went in different directions.
Okay.
Nice.
Honestly, one of my cousins is a logger. He runs equipment still. That's what my dad did.
Gotcha.
My brother's like a construction guy.
You're really good at running equipment too, though,
Well,
and construction.
I've had
He's
to
a
do it.
genius
I've
at
had
it.
to do it. In my life, and I've worked with my dad out on the road crew, doing stuff. And my dad actually retired as a tugboat captain, which is kind of weird. Like he ran equipment his whole life in the woods, and then all of a sudden, at the end of his career, he's like, his boss was like, "Do you want to be a tugboat captain?" Sure. So he got licensed to be a tugboat captain, and he worked for Coos Bay Towboat.
Oh, right on.
Gotcha.
Pulling, you would take the pilot out to the big barges, or like those tanker ships, that we have in Coos Bay here, and bring them on in and dock them up,
Yeah.
Right on.
make sure everybody was safe, because when those ships get here, they're foreigners, they don't know how to navigate the channel, so they bring a pilot out there, and the pilot goes through the channel, and my dad would basically just steer that ship till it got in,
Right.
Yeah,
True.
cool.
So, and that's like a skill or a trade. And I guess I'm kind of curious. I remember back in the day, you might not remember this, Dustan, but it was quite a long time ago. We put up fascia board at, it might have been your mom's house or somebody's. I helped you put up fascia board.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I'm curious, those skills, did that come from your dad maybe a little bit? The ability
a little
to
bit,
be able to...
like when I was younger, like my dad before he used to operate concrete trucks. So my dad taught me how to pour concrete and finish concrete when I was a young child, and he taught me how to weld. My dad's like a jack of all trades kind of guy,
Right.
Jack of all trades,
Yeah.
master of none.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm the
I
same.
mean, exactly.
I'm the same.
But Dad knew how to do stuff, and he showed me everything that he knew. I mean, he bought me a motorcycle when I was 8 years old, and he expected me to work on it. So it was like, he taught me how to do everything on my bike. Every weekend he'd come home. He's like, man, it's broke again.
That's
serious.
That's an awesome skill, though. I mean, I've had to do it out of necessity, you know, because I'm like, you know, they gouge you sometimes when you go in for stuff. So I've done all the work on my bike too, but I'm like the book dude. I'm like, okay, you know, that okay, you know. So, but it is a cool skill to have, man.
Yeah, I'd ride that bike out in the grass and it'd wind around the front sprocket and it'd push the inner seal out of it all the time. Like, because the grass winds around the sprocket there, and then it would push the main seal out of there, and then it would start leaking oil. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, stop riding the bike in the grass."
So I'm curious, how did you get into? Because I like I said, tattooing, right? Playing music. I even played in a band with you. You know, at one point.
Yeah.
So how
nice.
did you?
Phenomenal drummer. Just a phenomenal musician. You know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't tell him stuff like that. His head's
Keep it
already
at bay,
swelling.
but, you
Look
know,
at his watch. You
he
can't
taught me a lot in that field for sure. You know.
How did you transition from? How'd you get into like music? I guess the arts. Like, how did you get into it, and why'd you get into it?
When I was young,
And when did it happen?
oh God, dude, 5th grade.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
You know,
How
like,
come?
Kurt Cobain, probably.
Okay.
And Nirvana,
Yeah.
you know, and like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and all these 90s bands that I was really into, you know, and I don't know why I was into them so much. My older cousin influenced me a lot, you know, and he kept just passing me like music, and he's like, listen to this, don't listen to that, you know.
Nice.
Gotcha.
But honestly, like those old grunge rock bands, I picked up a guitar, you know. My first CD, it was like Injustice for All,
Oh, nice.
you know, Metallica. And then my second CD was Red Hot Chili Peppers. Honestly,
Nice.
Blood
Okay.
Sugar Sex Magic was my second one, you know. And I worshiped those guys, you know, and I had posters of them on my wall, you know. I had Chris Cornell up there. I had everybody, Dwayne Allman on my wall, you know. I just wanted to be a guitar player. I wanted to be a performer, you know, when I was younger, and that's what I wanted to be.
Now, and at that time, you didn't have anybody in your family that had instruments that were doing that.
No,
So you just kind
not
of
at all.
took it on your own, huh? Awesome.
Not at all. I would get up in the morning, like, so let's say that school started at 8:30, right?
Okay.
Right. I'd be up at 6, and I'd be waiting for my brother to get up, and then my mom eventually would get up, and she would take us to school, or we'd go down and catch the bus. But in the meantime, I'd be playing my guitar, you know, and a lot of times I'd be plugged in because I had a Kramer Focus 6000, dude. With a Floyd Rose bridge, you know, and that was my first electric guitar, you know.
Where'd you get it? Because if that's what I'm curious. Like, where did like for me?
Southbound Sound.
Southbound Sound.
That's where I got it.
Where's that?
From
who?
Vinny.
Yeah, from Vinny.
From
Yeah.
Vinny. Okay.
For sure.
So who bought it?
My dad bought it for me for Christmas.
Oh,
Did,
cool.
did you
Yeah.
ask? Did
No,
you ask?
I didn't even ask him. I just like this big rectangular shaped, you know, present was under the tree, and I opened it up, and it was a hard case.
Nice.
And I opened it up, and it was this black guitar with a Floyd Rose bridge, and it was like, wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Super hard to tune. Super
Oh,
hard to
yeah.
learn how to do.
That
you know?
is no lie.
And that was because eventually, like, you know, I ended up buying a Stratocaster because I was in a jazz band.
Okay.
By the time I was in 7th grade, I was in high school jazz band.
Okay.
You know, and I played guitar for the jazz band, and tuning that guitar and using that guitar in the jazz band was kind of
With the Floyd Rose was
it was kind of controversial. So
Yeah.
Dude, I've been doing this for a minute, and it's a pain in the butt with Floyd's, man.
yeah.
It's they are tough.
But Gary Weiss was my band teacher, super dope band guy, you know, like knowledgeable drummer and just phenomenal musician. And he's like, just buy something that's just got a standard bridge on it, so we can get away from this tuning thing all the time.
Right, yeah, bro. Like you're working too hard for this, my man. You don't have to just get something that's easier.
Yeah, with a fixed bridge, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, so did you ever do any drawing stuff? Did you do art like that at all?
I did graphic design when I was in high school. I was in art class, and we did a lot of graphic design for like football team or the golf team or whoever wanted a bunch of shirts. You know what I mean? And we do graphic design for them. And I'd airbrush a lot. And I do sculptural stuff like clay and stuff like that. But I would really, really just sneak off and blow glass.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're just
dude. Yeah, you're all up in the arts, my man. That's awesome.
Exactly.
I would sneak away from class and stuff, and I would blow glass, and I was, you know what I would make. Little trinkets.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah, little trinkets.
Yeah. Young and trinkets. Yeah,
Sculptural trinkets, were useful to some certain crowds,
That's awesome.
But I did that for 13 years, and it developed into like full on sculptural art, and I'd make like these coral reef designs with, it'd be like a solid coral reef with a bunch of fish swimming around it, and it'd just be like this giant paperweight or whatever, and
very cool.
And I got into a gallery in Bandon that's no longer open, but she moved to Portland, and I was in Northeast Portland in a gallery up there for a long time, and
nice.
Never sold anything.
Well, that's
you know what I mean.
The thing.
Well, art, dude, if you're making sculptures or painting,
it is tough, and usually you got to die before anything becomes valuable.
You end up getting a lot of stuff back, and I don't know. Like one day, I'm in the glass shop, and I was making, because I used to make earrings, like gauge plugs and like all these decorative like hoop design earring danglies for women and stuff like that, and. I was in the shop and I was making earrings for a tattoo artist, and she asked me, you want a tattoo? And I'm like, that would be amazing. I've always wanted a tattoo.
Wow.
And I lost the dream a long time ago,
And this is at what age?
At 24, 25.
Oh, cool.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
And I did, I just gave up on it. I didn't think I was ever going to do it.
Right. But at 24, 25 is when you got back into it.
Right.
Now, how's that process? Is it really a pain in the butt to?
For me, like, I don't know, as an artist, like that, like having an artistic outlet like tattooing was a dream of mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always wanted to be a tattooer when I was younger, and when I was in an art class, in 7th grade, that's what I wanted to do. But when the laws changed in Oregon, and they took away apprenticeships and they went back to schools. I didn't have money to go to school.
There's really expensive.
No way. Could I even conceive doing that? So it was like glass blowing, other routes of artistic stuff, and construction was my jam.
Yeah.
And I met you, Max, on a construction job years ago. I was building a log house, and you did the floors.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Remember that? That's when I first met you.
Yeah, that was that was a while back. Yeah, that was a cool place.
Yeah,
that was a super cool place.
Yeah.
So now I don't mean to derail that beautiful moment you guys.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
In the log house.
Yeah.
But kind of walk me through, because that's currently what you're doing really right now, right? Is tattooing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like starting like right then and there, I kind of dropped glass blowing and I started oil painting. I took oil paintings to the same gallery that I was selling my glass at, which I wasn't selling. It was just sitting there in the corner. I had a whole like display in the corner of this gallery that wasn't really doing anything. Some stuff would move, but I mean, like to make a living, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I drive up there and I got some glass pieces, but my whole car is full of paintings,
At that point.
Yeah. And I was like, I got a bunch of paintings. If you want to fill your walls up, you got a lot of wall space, and she's like, I didn't expect this.
You're like, well, I'm dropping off a shipment.
Yeah.
So here we go.
And she took them all, and I never saw any of those paintings again. They all sold.
Oh, okay.
Gone, and I realized that even though like you have a passion at certain things, you might be better at this or that. What works.
I'm just curious, would you say that when you saw all those paintings sold and they were gone, right, did that maybe help get you to more into saying tattooing is maybe more somewhere where I should be because it's more artistic than the glass, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it gave me confidence in myself to pursue that career, You know, when you're moving stuff, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? When people
Right.
want what you got,
Yeah, absolutely.
it feels good. You know,
Yeah.
when you're making
Absolutely.
a good sound and people like to hear it, it feels good. You
Right.
know? That's the way it went, you know, and we just never stopped, you know, and I was with my mentor, Ronita, for 2.5 years or something. you
And
know,
mentor for
tattooing.
tattooing.
And that where was that? Was that here locally?
She used to have a shop in Chico, California.
Oh wow.
And it shut down, and you know she had been tattooing for years, since like 75, you know.
Okay.
And she knew like all these legends, you know. And
So she was like 130 years old.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Grandma.
you know, like she was a legend in the game.
Yeah,
you know. And she invited me in, and I mean, we did Sacramento Ink Convention in 2010 with Judy Parker, which is like a legend in flash designs. You know, she's a goddess. We call her Flash Queen. Getting to interact with these people through Ronita was an incredible experience. Like I said, 2.5 years with her, you know, didn't get me my organ license. You know,
Right.
it didn't work out that way. When I decided to move back to Coquille, I was faced with go to work or, you know, have some money to go to school, right?
Right.
So I built road for a little while, and
Blew things up.
yeah.
When you say blow things up with
Like
dynamite,
mountains.
what exactly do you
He
mean?
blew up
yeah, you're-
mountains.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Like, he was the dynamite guy.
Yeah, I'd go
Yeah.
up there and core drill and pack dynamite.
Well, you
and
must
stuff
have been
like that.
good because you got all your
Yeah, he
fingers,
is.
dude. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was fun. I mean, I always tell the guys if I
It's
ever
my favorite story.
had to stop tattooing, I'd be right back up there on the hill with those guys. But
Yeah, that's got to be an adrenaline rush too, man.
But I mean, you know, my stepdad one day he passed away. You know,
Oh,
It's
man, I'm sorry.
just overnight. Had a heart attack or something. You know, we never got an autopsy or anything like that, but he just passed away. End of that story is that I was able to go to school. You know, I got some inheritance from him.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to go back and redirect myself into tattooing.
That's awesome,
Okay.
dude. Some people just go, "Woo, blow
You
it!
know.
I'm going and I'm buying this." And
But in the same vein, you know, like I didn't really have a choice because I couldn't build road anymore because I found out I'm type 1 diabetic.
Right.
Oh wow.
You know, and they took my CDL and stuff away from me because I can't have one when you're type 1, you know, in Oregon. So I had to redirect my career path.
And I don't mean to redirect, but just for a second, can you just kind of, because I actually don't really know, type 1 diabetic, I don't know exactly what that means health wise.
Honestly, well, you
Your
know,
pancreas
like
doesn't work.
my pancreas doesn't work.
Okay.
You know,
I don't know what a
it-
pancreas is.
like-
You have one.
Well, okay.
Believe it or not, you
we got to
have
get better questions. Just because you're a dumbass doesn't mean you get.
You have
I can
this
ask
organ
whatever
in your
questions I
body
want.
that is vital to your existence. It's called the pancreas.
It's like
Gotcha.
right
You
here.
know,
Pretty
and
important.
It
Yeah,
creates
it's important.
It creates
Okay.
insulin that breaks down sugars and carbs in your body, and it
Okay.
helps process food.
Gotcha.
Every
Right,
time you
so-
eat, it's working.
Okay, so you found out you had that. That's why you couldn't continue to do the
Yes.
road work.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So it's like, you know, I got to do something else, and so you know, ended up going to tattoo school in Eugene.
What was the tattoo school there?
Lifetime School of Tattooing.
Lifetime School of Tattooing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And how long did you have to go?
I was there for probably 9-10 months.
Oh, cool.
Something like that. Had a license after that.
Did you commute or did you?
I commuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days a week
Wow, that's a bomb.
up
dude.
in Eugene, and I'd drive back to Coquille. But then I ended up getting a spot in Cottage Grove, and I would just go from Cottage Grove to Eugene. And then after I got done with my apprenticeship with them, they hired me to tattoo, and I worked at Lifetime Tattoos for 2 years after that. And
Oh wow.
It's at 14th and Main in Springfield. It's a pretty
Cool.
rough area of town.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, man, it's a lot of bikers and stuff like that, but
Gotcha.
a lot of walk-ins, you know, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. I bet.
Honestly, the place was a great place to be, you know, for a beginner tattooer. You know, I mean, I already had like, you know, 5 or 6 years under my belt, but it's like I wasn't in a shop with a license, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
Well, you cut your teeth there though, man. That's awesome,
that's
bro.
that's exactly right.
Very cool, man. So then so you were there for a couple of years, and then what made you decide to just go, hey, I'm going back home and I'm going to do this myself?
After being there for a couple of years, you know, you start to get real close to the people that are around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I started having some issues with the guy that had been there forever.
Oh,
know,
yeah.
And things kind of spiraled, you know, and I came to work one day and they're like, you know, you got to pack your stuff and leave.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, that's cool.
Same with bands.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it's
Say, that
politics.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, you get in and some dude's got it, you know, and it's like, well,
Bands
I've been
are
here and
worse.
the gear's mine, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Same type of stuff. But after that, I ended up at a shop in Corvallis, Studio Lumos in Corvallis.
Oh, cool.
And I was there for a while. But then I decided that, I wanted to open up a shop at Coos Bay. There was only, like, you know, one other shop here at the time. And I was like, let's go home and tattoo everybody that we know. And it's easy to be a hometown hero, but it's nice to have your hometown friends around you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and
Absolutely.
and your support, you know, because a lot of my clients were already traveling from Coos Bay. Half the other time I'm tattooing college girls and, you know, students from Oregon State.
Right.
You know, it's not my. You don't really get to pick what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to.
I want this unicorn and
Exactly,
I want it here.
you know.
And you're like, awesome. Yeah,
And
let's do it.
It's like, I want to tattoo the stuff that I want to tattoo, but I also know as a tattoo artist that I don't get to do that. So it's like, the more that I get to do that, the better. Right?
Yeah.
You
Right.
do a
You
lot
know.
more now because people
Yeah.
know him really well here and respect him, and
They trust
They-
me.
they
to
want you to be
do-
happy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
People
They
trust
care
you.
about you.
Yeah, wow.
Some
I'm like-
people do.
I was going to say, man.
I
guess.
trust you. I trust you.
Depends on the day.
Well, that's cool. So you kind of had like a little hometown. You already had a little base going on. So, and I remember I came and did flooring over there at the new place. And, you know, obviously there were some issues because, you know, the flooring was like, you're going to go with this? Okay. Let's just say it wasn't the most expensive stuff. And Dustin was like, bro, you know, the sunlight's coming in and making this stuff bubble up. And I'm like, you know, I thought that might happen, you know, but you get what you get. And I tried to fix it a couple times.
He looks at me, he's like, it's peel and stick tile.
Yeah.
What's it
Are you
gonna do?
serious?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
gonna happen.
I was like,
I don't want to
exactly.
know who ordered
But
that.
neither one of us wanted to throw anybody under the bus. You know?
No,
It's like,
Yeah. And I mean, and it is, it's like, you know, and to be fair, it's like, you know, they're doing it to get people in. And it was, you know, upscaled peel and stick, I guess, in a way.
Okay.
It wasn't your grandma's normal peel and stick, but you know, the sunlight was warming these things up. And then they were like, you know, humping and bubbling and doing all kind. And, you know, it was just like, it's just.
Yeah.
And Dustin's like, what can we do? I'm like, I don't think there's much we can do, brother. I mean,
Rip it
I'm
all
gonna
up and
fix
put
it.
something else in.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
fix
that's
it,
what we
but
can
I'm gonna
do.
be back here next week. I can tell you, you know, it's like it's one of those. So, but and hard for a tattoo shop where you know cleanliness is huge.
The chemicals are
and the chemicals
eat that up.
and the you
well,
know.
we mop the floor like twice a day practically.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's diligent, you know, and there's a lot of moisture on that thing. And I don't know, we're using high level disinfectant on everything. So it's going to break down anything that.
And then you were kind of in the same place, but on the other side, right? Like you moved around to the big side.
So when we started out, I think it was 2018 when we first opened. But we were above the provisioners.
Yeah.
And that big space, you know,
Yeah,
and I shared it with the guys that were in Peligro band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they had that big studio space, and I had
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Upstairs
Yeah.
above the pizza place.
I did flooring in there. As
Got
well.
it.
yeah,
Got it.
you did flooring in there too.
Yeah. It was kind of a roller coaster ride in that.
that it was really a roller coaster.
It was, and I was like,
Yeah.
so we're just okay. I'm gonna put it down. All right, let's go.
So I shared the space with those guys in the co-op, and they gave me a really good deal to have the little closet and a section of the outside. From, you know,
Yeah, bro,
For real.
put your stuff over there.
yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly. You know, but then tattooing, I had to, you know, I got to listen to the band play all the time.
Right.
You know, loud.
That's fun. That's
you know,
fun.
and my clients, you know, they're like, geez, you know, and I'm like, this
is what it is.
studio.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what we're doing, you know, and
Yeah.
it was like that for a year or two, and then I worked with a landlord, and she moved me over to the other building.
Right.
And
That was the one with the roll up door and all that. Is that right? It had
No.
That was
like a-
after.
that was after
second
that.
one.
Oh, okay.
So we moved over to the 999 spot over by the brewery over there, and that's where the peel and stick was
okay, gotcha,
failing in
gotcha.
the doorway.
Gotcha.
Right? And I was there for another 2 years or something like that. Again, working with a landlord, she moved me over to the next spot.
It's way too big.
It was
Which was that
Yeah,
was the
I mean,
one-
you went from like shoebox to like, holy
Seriously,
crap, dude!
you know?
Now
What are you
there's a
gonna
hot
do with
tub.
all this space?
Yeah.
what? How many tattoo shops in Coos Bay now? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
There's more definitely than there used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be
Yeah,
not a lot. And
Popping
now
up
it's-
everywhere, you know, and
Right.
my idea was that maybe some of these artists would come in and like work in the shop, you know,
Right,
like
yeah.
as they came their space, you know, and I was hoping that some artists would come in, but you know, shop pops up here and there, and it just keeps growing outside of you, and I'm like, you know, nobody ever really came. We had a lot of guests come from the tattoo convention, you
Right.
know, but it was just me in this big space all the time.
Yeah, it was huge. It was
just
huge.
just
We had a lot of
pretty
plants, too.
quiet.
I was gonna say,
You
what
know?
was up with the plants? Because when I came in, I was just like,
It just kept growing. People kept bringing them
Oh,
to
okay,
us. You
yeah,
know?
I was
and
like-
it's
it started here
literally-
and then it
I was like,
Yeah.
What
It's
else
just
are we gonna
boom.
fill the space with?
Yeah,
We had so
I
much
mean-
space.
oh no, it was cool. I was just like,
had a whole garden
I'm
in
like,
there.
you got a tattoo shop and a little nursery. This
Yeah.
is nice.
We should have sold the plants.
No kidding. No kidding. We had some good plants in there.
Yeah, no, it was very cool.
Healthy in there.
I did like it though. It was that it just had all the plants and it was like, oh, it's cool, cool vibe, man. It was cool vibe.
So you moved from there to
To Coquille.
Yeah, and this is your new spot, right? And are you still renovating, or is that coming to a close, or?
Kind of in limbo on that. I don't know. We're in a spot that we didn't really choose to be in, but it's super awesome. It's just right next door to the building my mom owns. So we leased this space. It used to be a realty office, and it's all segregated, like with these different office spaces inside, which is perfect for a tattoo shop, you know. And then we have an upstairs loft that is like a full nother office on its own. But it was just the perfect space for us to land in because we plan on going and remodeling this building, which we're still working on.
Right on.
gonna
so
take
awesome.
so if
long
I
time.
want to get a tattoo from Dustan, right? What's like? So I find you in Coquille at said place. What is the place? Your business name?
What is the
What you
place?
got?
What is
Well, it's 1111 Tattoos.
1111 tattoo?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where people can find you.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you pretty booked out?
As booked as I want to be. I mean,
Okay.
I think that, you know, we're pretty selective of what we do anymore. But,
That's
I
awesome.
screen everyone.
you know,
Right. I was gonna say, so are you helping out, Gabby? You're
Yeah.
doing some stuff
I-
there. Are
I
you
do
like
all his-
receptionist stuff?
I
or-
do all this booking and screening people
Nice.
and working with them on their designs and making sure it's something that he'll be happy doing and
Oh, okay.
not like the outcome. We try
Yeah.
to not do things that we don't like to do anymore and just
it's tattooing.
people
hard,
we don't like
man.
to be around.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to do something that you want to do and you know that represents you as an artist, but then you have somebody that comes in and they want a heart with a name in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
and
Or mom.
And then like
Yeah.
It's like nice.
you know that you can do this and you know that you can do it well. Right. And who are you to deny that person their glory and what they want?
Yeah.
Right.
You know
So
what I
do you-
mean? It's
You
just-
don't really do like cover ups or anything.
I do.
like- Oh, really?
He's
Oh,
really
nice.
good at it.
I cover up a lot of tattoos, you know. I just want to make sure that that's what they want
Yeah.
before
yeah.
we do it, you know, and
some
I'm
people,
the person
some
for
people-
the job.
Yeah,
you know?
some people don't have a head for that either. They're just like, I want this, and it's like sometimes it's like, okay, well, you got a tattoo this big, and in order to cover it up, we're gonna have to probably make it a little like I don't want it to be any bigger than this. I'm like, well, okay, sometimes that's possible, sometimes that's not.
Yeah, you got to transform it.
Yeah,
I've done cover ups where they didn't even want one line to go outside of that tattoo.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I know.
You know, and it's like, whoa,
Well,
you know.
yeah, that's gonna be tough.
And then my homie's over here doing cover ups, and he's like, "Oh, if I'm going to cover that up, I'm going to do a whole quarter panel of
Yeah, 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 because they want to blend it in. They,
yeah,
as-
and that's honestly what you probably should do.
Right.
You know? And you don't it doesn't stress you out as an artist. You
Right.
know? You're like,
well,
yeah.
and you don't have to put your name on it. You know, you're
Right.
like, hey, this is not, you know, I put my name on this thing, and it's, you know, and it's not clean skin, you know. So any imperfections in that, you're gonna, you know, could be from the previous tat.
Exactly.
And it's, man, that's a tough one.
That's why they got to
Exactly,
pay more
you know.
for that too, because you're working on someone else's
Right.
art.
Yeah, and then I trolled Facebook a little bit and seen that you had some back issues there for a minute, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard about
and
your
I had,
discs.
I have C5 and 6 in the neck. I have T11 in the mid thoracic, and then I have L5 and S1 all bulged out.
Yeah,
You know,
because you were
and-
down there. You were down for a minute.
Oh, 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, quite a while. You know, and I mean, there's pain in life, you guys,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and then there's pain.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
And then there's real pain, you know. And honestly, like I didn't even know what pain was until that started happening, you know. And I'm like, you know, a little uncomfortable here and there, and my back hurts, whatever. But when it really goes out, you can't even walk.
Oh, I know, dude. I've had
You
I've just
know?
had a slip once, you
Yeah.
know, a slip disc, and I thought it was the end of the world.
And
Yeah.
when you can't walk, you know, and you can't put your clothes on and stuff like that, it starts to get real. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it gives a whole new outlook to those Life Alert commercials.
I
You're like,
know.
I'm
It does,
falling
you
and I
know?
can't get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, seriously.
For real, but we went to the Pacific Coast. It was at Pacific Coast Sport and Spine.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Those guys up in Sutherland, and they injected me with some like prednisone shots, cortisone shots in the back, and they like into my spine, and it helped like tremendously.
I bet.
Yeah, and gave me a lot of relief, you know, and we're getting back into things now, but it's been a long road of recovery.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah.
Is that something you're gonna have to keep doing?
Probably, you know, I'm looking at a neck surgery coming up, you know, but if I want to keep, you know, focusing on my tattooing,
Right,
you know, and I call it bearing down, you know, when you're stretching skin and you're deliberately tattooing line work and stuff like that and on the neck or something like that, you know, you're bearing down and you're pinning someone down, and it takes a lot of,
Right, because you got to hold it for.
a lot of,
Right.
it's a lot of physical, you know, exercise to your back and your neck and stuff like that. So I think that's why I have what I have. And, you know, I've been tattooing for 15 years. So it's just like,
Right.
it's, you know, it's inevitable at one point you're going to have to deal with something, you know, and
Yeah.
my posture's not the greatest. So
Well, that's okay. You know, I mean, dude, you're doing it though, and you're pushing through. That's awesome, man.
you know, when I first started noticing it, it's like I can't even put a guitar on my back anymore for more than, you know, stand up and play. You know,
Yeah.
bass guitar is super heavy. You know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and it just after playing for like 4 hours, I'd be down for 3 days
Now,
doing what you love, but it hurts you. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's gosh, I can't. That's one of my worst fears, like jacking up one of my fingers or doing something where I can't play or do, you know. I'm like, man, I'd be, or even my back now. Now I'm worried about that. Thanks, Dustin.
No. Don't let it happen. You know, 'cause
your back's already screwed, bro.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're already screwed.
Well, you're
bro.
supposed to have my back.
I don't have my own back. My back's screwed too. Okay.
I know. We're hunched over doing flooring, and I do
Exactly.
feel it. You know, I'm
Oh, you guys got a hard job, man.
man. It's gnarly sometimes.
Hard on the knees.
Yeah, knees. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I would honestly say it's more of the back, dude. Honestly, my knees aren't that bad. It's the problem of being hunched over, doing certain things, and I would almost say it's maybe the same when you're doing a tattoo and
it's
you're
very
hunched
close.
over in a way, and you're there for a long period of time. It can eventually be like, bro, eventually it hits your back, your neck, your shoulders.
You gotta have
like
good posture while you're doing it, which seems ridiculous.
Yeah, and you can't, you know, and then you take 5 minutes and you lay out on the floor or something to straighten yourself out, and the customer, that's when they come in, like, what are you doing? And you're just
Taking a
laying down
nap.
on the job, huh?
Yeah. Contorted positions. That's what my doctor said. Like, you're working in contorted positions.
Yeah,
too
makes
long,
sense.
You
Yeah,
know, and,
makes sense.
And strenuously and
Right, over and over.
Yeah,
again,
and
too.
he told me, he's like, you know, the only other people that have your problem or potters that try to throw pots because you're bearing down in the same way with both your arms every time, you know, and you're just like focused on both arms up and down, you know, whatever you're doing. And it gets old, you know, it hurts.
It hurts,
It hurts after a while, you know. And,
that is gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll keep doing it because that's what you love to do.
Right.
You know, no one ever
do it.
stopped playing guitar because their neck hurt, you know, it's like whatever. You know,
Yeah,
keep
Mick
going.
Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, so is it work hard, play hard?
Yeah.
Do you get out there and? Well, I know you're camping.
Absolutely.
This weekend,
I mean, you know, like we don't play super hard during like the year per se, but when convention time comes around and all these tattooers are at the casino, we party pretty hard, you know.
I was gonna say, so you've been doing that how long now? Because you've done it at least a few, right? A few years.
We just did year 4.
Year 4.
Nice.
Yeah. And
And you were right front and center too, man. Your booth was right up front. I was like, right on, dude.
We host the show. You know, we're the local shop host. You know, and every convention has a local shop host. I feel, or some sort of shop host. You know, people come from all over the place, and they may not be booked out or whatever. You know, and people come to get tattooed. You know, and they'll come straight to our booth a lot of the time, like looking for some tattoos, and that's when Gabrielle takes them over across the way and goes, "Hey, you know, this person might be good for that tattoo."
Mm-hmm.
And see
cool.
what they have availability, you know what I'm saying? And we'll just
Gabby's calling the place.
start just just
no.
mixing and matching, you know, so people get the tattoos that they want, you know, and they're satisfied in the end, you know.
From the right person, and we try to take care of the artists because they're
that makes
incredible
sense.
artists.
Well, and that's the
across
thing. Every
country.
artist has their own little niche, man, too. So some people are, you know, all colors. Some people are black and gray. Some people love unicorns. Some people love skulls. Some, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's very cool, though. I loved it. I've gone 2 years now. The last 2 years I've gone to the conventions. Just, you know, I didn't think I even got anything the first year. I did, but it didn't take. So, it was like one of the, you know, and that's the thing. Usually, if they're like wide open availability, it's a red flag sometimes, you know. But
Dustin can cover it up if you want.
But yeah, it was. Well, I wanted
For a small fee of $5,000.
It's actually my grandson, and it's partially
yeah.
my fault. Or I mean, his fault too, because he knew it went a little low. And my wife's turned out great, but hers was up a little higher. It was my grandson's name.
Doing flooring, that's never gonna stick right there.
Yeah, and
It's
I
just a bad spot.
yeah, and I callous up pretty bad, so it was just like the perfect storm. But I do want to eventually get it redone for my grandson and do it. But this one I got, you know, you're actually wearing his shirt, Pete.
Yeah, Pete did that tattoo.
Pete did this
It looked
tattoo,
great.
and it came out awesome, and it was kind of funny because I didn't even know in the beginning that he was really going to be there, but I follow a bunch of tattooers on Insta and all this stuff, and so I was like, no way, Pete's going to be there. So I was just like, I just hit him up, just say, hey, you got any available? He's like, sure do. And then I told him what I wanted to get done. He's like, oh yeah, let's do it. You know, so it was really cool. I was able to do that, and then you know, and I seen Dustin there and rapped with him a little bit. And it was great. I loved it. I just because it's all like-minded people. Like everybody's there to get tatted up, and it's just fun, man. Checking out.
I'm jealous, man, because I've always wanted Pete Carino. You know, he's the legend, and I tattooed next to him in Boise in like I don't know 2016 or something.
Oh,
like
wow.
that, you know, a long time ago.
Yeah, he said he's coming up on 20 years. He said,
and him and Jamie were there, you know, and I tattooed right next to him, and I was nobody, you know, and we talked, but not. Nice. He doesn't remember me or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was just a kid, you know, but my buddy that was tattooing next to me, they're, you know, friends or whatever, and I got to meet him and Jamie and see what they do, and it was incredible, man.
Dude, Jamie, I've never seen any of her stuff, so I was kind of the front. I'm like, and I'm sitting next to this one, and I'm like, damn.
Oh, that's the one you mentioned.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
you mentioned that
it was
to me.
just like, you know, it was just like kind of like siren piece, mermaidy, but like, you know, but
she nails that stuff.
Oh man, I had this lighthouse, and her negative space stuff was so cool, man. It was just like I was blown away too, man. I'm like, everybody, there's a lot of great artists that come to these things, man, and I'm like, you know, I try to get it all in, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, that
if you haven't gone, you got to.
No, I have not gone.
What?
I know.
You gotta go to it, man.
Well,
It's awesome.
he just broke ground not too long ago.
I
Within the
see
last
that.
6
Just a
months.
I didn't know you had any tattoos.
Just a couple.
Yeah, he's
just a
just-
couple little guys.
And he's kind of like normal first starters, like just line stuff.
I just want
line
small stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those aren't real tattoos yet.
Yeah. You know,
I
and it's
respect
You
that.
get down that saturation. and,
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not real, but I'm saying that to feel what this man's felt
Right. Is a different.
that's a whole different ball game, man.
Right.
You know, and to feel what she's felt, that's another different ball game.
Yeah.
She's got her whole back done. It's
oh yeah,
color,
Yeah.
you know. And
Even my little
It
like you get
hurts.
up in my
Yeah,
stormtrooper
get
up
out
in
of
here.
there.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Just get out of there.
Get out of there.
please. Get out of there, dude.
Get out of there, bro. That's,
that's what I tell people when I'm like, well, like what hurts most? I'm like, anywhere you can kind of pinch yourself and go, ooh, ooh, and then that's where it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So ribs, side stuff, back stuff, underneath any of the underbelly stuff is a little painful.
okay.
And I've never used the numbing stuff, but I hear that's a kind of a thing that's
We're not even allowed to use it in Oregon anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
They cut off lidocaine a couple, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Oh
I
my
was gonna
God,
say
is
because
that new?
Yeah, it's a new thing, and they won't allow us to use even Bactine anymore. Which as a tattoo artist in Oregon, you got to be on the up and up, and you got to
you got to follow the rules.
follow
man.
the rules that the health authorities, But they're saying that we're acting as health professionals. I guess.
Okay.
For applying things that are
and
bought over the
we are
counter.
not health professionals. We'll be the first one to tell you to go get
I'm like, I'll be the
shot,
person to tell you I am not.
Can you look at this? I was wondering what this is.
Yeah.
This is
We're
gross.
a lot
They're like,
cleaner
what?
than a lot sometimes, though.
That's true.
We're a lot more sanitary.
we are very clean, very, very clean, and cleaner than the ER sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, you're getting injected into your skin, and there's all kinds of pathogens and things, and if back my first tat was by a biker at a rally, so that lets you know it probably not the cleanest place, but
Right.
So some of that, hindsight is 2020. You look back, you're like, ooh, yeah, that probably wasn't a great idea.
Yeah, you
but
lucked out that you didn't.
I did. I
get-
survived, so I'm
Yeah.
fine. But they're addicting though.
You lived.
They are. They are super addicting. It's like once you get one, man, that was like if I was on that train, I was like, okay, man, if my pocketbook could follow my wants, then I'd probably be head to toe by now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they are spendy too.
Yeah.
But that's why I say don't ever cheap out either, man. Don't go, because
Cheap
it's on your body.
tattoos aren't good, and
No,
good tattoos aren't cheap.
cheap.
That's
Yeah.
true, man.
I got a lot of my tattoos from Ronita's apprentices.
Right.
And they would just tattoo whatever they wanted to on me, and I didn't really get to choose.
Oh, really?
So
Damn.
I was a victim of that, for a little
Okay.
while.
You're like, awesome, yeah.
We're tattooing this on, like my hand, it's supposed to be a tight. You can't even see it anymore. but we're doing this on you, dude.
wow.
And you're gonna be here at 6 a.m. because you're gonna mop the floors first.
And you're like, okay, all right, yeah,
Nice,
that's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Let me get that pine sol on my skin
Yeah,
first, so
exactly.
you can eject that too.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So you got the shop and it's going, and you're kind of picky and choosy right now, which is cool. But what's the address of the place?
16 East Highway 42.
There we
Oh,
go.
But if
There
you
we
put
go.
it in GPS, it takes you to the automotive place by Safeway. So we always say we're right next to the Coquille Broiler Restaurant.
Right.
There you go.
In
You
the
guys are
big
like
red building, you can't miss it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it is big red flag,
Yeah.
and you're kind of right behind it. Is that right?
we're just like right on the back side of the building.
On the highway side, yeah.
We painted the building to where our building's black, but the broiler's red. But the trim switches, so it's
Oh,
you can tell the
cool.
difference between the buildings.
okay.
You know what
Okay,
I'm
cool.
saying?
Yeah, because they have a red with black trim, and you got
Exactly.
you got black with red
Black
trim.
with
Exactly.
Awesome.
No,
That's
nice.
cool, man.
Yeah, we've been working on the outside of the building. We're gonna put a mural up on the outside. We haven't really settled on what we're gonna do, but it's probably gonna be some salmon swimming through a river.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do it yourself or?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Right on,
He
man.
said,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like I said, I assumed. I'm like, he's got this big art background. I'm like, you gonna do
Well,
that?
we got a new artist at the shop. Her name's Chloe, and
Yeah, I
she's
seen that.
She's brand new. She's good. She's gonna be a really good tattooer, and
Okay.
with her help and a couple other people, might recruit some folks from Corvallis and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Come down and just tag team it.
Now, Chloe
Nice.
kind of started doing paintings and stuff because I think I looked at her Facebook and it
She's
was
a really
mostly
good painter.
paintings, and then I'm like, and then the last part of it's been the tats. So I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. So
Yeah, she came to the tattoo convention and she helped a buddy of ours for 2 days, and then I was like, go home and get your stuff and bring it back, and maybe you'll get a she got a tattoo in like a half an hour. Break her in on the new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get her out there.
right on.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I love it when people get into that stuff because it's an art, and some people just blow my mind, man. It's like, wow, jeez, didn't even know that was possible on skin sometimes, you know.
So for you though, talking to maybe the youth and people who want to get into tattooing and maybe are artists but don't know how to get into tattooing, what's some positive words you can give to people who want to get into that type of field? And how do you approach it and the mindset? Like,
I would say put yourself out there, honestly, and go talk to shops, show them what your portfolio is, and be an honest person, what you want to do, what your projection is. Talk to all your local tattoo artists. You have to go to school if you want to get a tattoo license, right?
Right.
Pick the right school.
Mm-hmm.
The one that fits for you, but then have a background plan on the back of that to where you're not ending up at their shop.
Right.
Like I was for 2
so I have,
you know,
I have to go to school if I want to become a tattoo artist.
Yep. Yeah, in
Oregon.
Oregon,
Yeah.
which is really controversial in the industry because personally, traditional apprenticeships are
I was gonna say I never
are
knew,
the
I didn't know-
way to go because you're not going anywhere. Like my buddy down in Southern California, he's got like 4 or 5 apprentices, and it might be 5 years before the suckers touch a tattoo machine, and they respect it way
Right.
more than somebody that's just going to get handed a tattoo machine over 9 months
After,
you know?
this many
kinda
months.
blown,
Okay.
blown
Yeah.
away that they don't do the apprenticeships anymore, man. That
Yeah.
is just
It
bogus.
sucks.
And then they got, and then they go and open their own shop. So my advice really is, if you want to be a really good tattooer, find the tattooer that you want to be like.
Right.
You
That's
know,
what I was gonna say.
and approach them with a good attitude and selflessness, and you might find yourself, with way more than you bargained for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I watched some of the old tattoo
You might be
shows,
there longer
you know.
than
Yeah.
you think you're going to be there. You, like you said,
Yeah.
it might be 4 years.
It might be
down the-
30 years and you get the keys to the shop.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's that kind of investment that really makes you a good tattooer. Through that investment, you're going to meet other people that might further your career.
Right.
You're part of the culture.
Oregon was great, and you've done me well for the last, whatever 5 years, and you're like, well, my homie over here in Texas can teach you more than I can,
Yeah.
Right.
and they move over there, and they, and they move on.
Because like I was saying, I watched some tattoo shows, and some of those guys were like, the probies, man, and they had to step and fetch it and get this and do that and set up my station and do that. I mean, they were the grunts, but X amount of years later, and they're learning for, like I used to watch the one with Kat Von D and all that stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like, man, some of these guys got the shit into the stick, but in the end, they turned out to be awesome artists. And
Those guys that were doing that are professionals, like famous tattoo artists now.
Yeah.
And they have that respect from the industry too at the same time.
right.
And
They paid their dues.
respect the tattoo machine.
You're right.
know?
Absolutely.
And today, like these newbies out here going to school for 9 months and opening a tattoo shop.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's where you get a lot of return clients. Back.
Coming back
to get it fixed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And the circle just continues until they get overwhelmed, and then they're like, "I'm shutting it down." After that schooling, they need to have an apprenticeship. I feel, you know, and to continue
agree.
their education and learn the logistics of being in a real shop. You know,
Right.
because real shops, we don't even really have any
It's-
anymore. After
it's
COVID,
the-
there hasn't been a lot of real shops around.
Yeah.
It's the difference. It's the difference between going. It's basically exactly what we're talking about. It's like, oh, I can go to school and now I have a degree. Have you ever been out on the field doing it? Well, no, but like I did all the schooling for it. It's like, bro, but you've never actually been out in the trenches doing it.
Exactly.
Well, no, but I went to school for it. Okay, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you know what you're doing.
No, it doesn't.
Right? That's the difference between
And
somebody.
I mean, you can be like the most incredible artist in the world, you know, and not be able to communicate with a person and not be able to like even apply a stencil on their arm because you're so nervous about it. The location and all that stuff, you know,
Right.
and like coming down to it, like the stencil might be the hardest thing to do in tattooing because you're just meeting a person and you're trying to figure out where it's going to go on their body and how it's going to flow and if they like it or not,
Right.
you know, and that could be the hardest thing.
Right. And that's stuff that I would assume that they probably don't necessarily go through in the school. Like, hey, man, this
Not
is
even at
actually,
all.
no, that's more of the realistic, like what's actually happening, that human connection and bond between tattoo artist to person you're tattooing. It's a lot deeper than just,
Absolutely.
here's how you tattoo, right? It goes a lot deeper than that. I would assume. I mean, I'm not a tattoo artist.
It should go a
but-
lot deeper than that. I mean, I mean, for me, everybody that I've tattooed, I mean, I have had a pretty emotional connection with, you know, and coming down to that we both like it thing,
Right.
you know, because I won't do it if we both don't like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, go look in the mirror for at least 5 minutes and tell me that you love it
Right.
before we're going to even continue this, you know, because sometimes, I'm still, you know, the other day I put a stencil on like 5 times before I was happy with it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just-
I don't like feeling rushed too, cause you know I've had certain tattooers do that to me too. Just like, you know, all right, dude, that's no, well, it's not getting
It's all
better than
there.
that, and that's where it is, and it's just like, okay, well, if you don't want to do this, you know, this is on me forever, my man. So
if they don't want to do it, walk away, man.
yeah, exactly.
If they're giving you some attitude, walk
Right.
away. It's
I've been
they
in this,
need to be stoked about it, and
Right.
otherwise they're not going to do their best job.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah. I'm not going to mention names, but there are some
Yeah. Don't.
There's some tattooers with some attitudes, man, and it's just like, you know, and they give you the runaround, and I'm like, dude, no, you know, I get it. This is what you do, but you know, I'm also this is what I want, and this is you know, I want to feel welcome, and I want to feel like, hey, you're stoked just as much as I'm stoked,
Exactly.
you know. All right, well, we're getting close here, so
We are getting close. I am going to wrap it up with this really quick. I just want to say, Dustin, I love you. You're a great person. You're a great musician, great
Thank
bass
you.
player,
Thank you,
right?
man.
Great artist, and great tattooer. And I love that you went. I mean, I've seen you. I don't know if you remember Adam. I might not drop a last name. You know what? I'm doing
Yeah.
it. Adam Fennessy.
Oh, yeah.
I think you did a big. Was it a back piece on it?
It was an Indian headdress chief on his shoulder.
Shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went from watching you there into that studio up above the pizza place
Yep.
to now having your own building. And I just want to say I'm really proud of you. And I think
you,
you're
man.
great
yeah,
at what
we
you
both
do.
are, man. I'm super proud of you
And
too,
Thank
bro.
you.
It's awesome. It's
Well,
awesome.
likewise. I mean, I'm proud to be here with you two. You know, I've known both of you for a long time, and you guys' band is incredible.
Oh,
you
thank
know,
you.
and you know, you guys come and play at my mom's restaurant all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's amazing to watch you guys do your thing too. And this is awesome right here. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
fun.
we were having fun, man. It's good. We get to shine a light on people, and that's what it's all about, man. It's like some of these people in our area that's been here and grinding and doing big things and good things. And
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of tattoo artists, but when someone's like, yeah, man, I'm looking for someone to tattoo me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, you got to check out Dustin, bro. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. I mean, there's a lot of other good tattooers around here, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, a lot. You know,
well, and
Absolutely.
hopefully your health keeps holding out, man, because we'd
I'll keep
love
on
to keep
keeping
you
on.
around for a
Keep
good
on
long.
keeping on.
yeah,
baby.
you know,
We want to keep you around for a long time,
Yeah.
man. All right.
All right, yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Wraps it up. This
Thank
is
you,
Max
guys.
and Kev,
Yep.
Dustin Graham.
Hell
Thank
yeah,
you
you
so
guys.
much.
fun.
1111 Tattoo. Check it out.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.